Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Sit down.
Don't tell me that damn judge was a good judge.
Ma'am, you come up here 1 second. You are not going to carry on in a courthouse like this. Come here. Come up here.
This hearing starts as a routine traffic case, but within seconds, it spirals into one of the most tense exchanges you'll see in a courtroom. The defendant, Susan Lynn-Wolf, is facing minor traffic violations that could easily be resolved with a 0-point plea deal. No license points, no record damage, charges dismissed, but instead of resolution, confusion turns into confrontation. The judge repeatedly explains the deal, slows things down, even offers flexibility with payments, yet every attempt at clarity is met with resistance, frustration, and escalating emotion. What's important here is that the judge is not threatening jail. In fact, he's actively trying to avoid it. But as the defendant continues to argue, interrupt, and derail proceedings, the focus shifts from the ticket to courtroom behavior itself. Stay tuned, because this case becomes less about traffic law and more about how quickly things can unravel when respect for the court breaks down.
Susan Lynn-Wolf, 25G3067848 and B. Good morning, ma'am. All right, so they're going to, they say you have a valid and dismiss. They're going to dismiss the expired plate. They say you have a valid plate now, and you are going to plead responsible on file A to impeding with the understanding that they will then move to dismiss the speed. True?
I close at anything. I don't understand much of anything.
Okay, well,
Just know that I was having
let me slow down, man. Let me slow down. You have 2 charges. You have speeding and you have expired plate. They're offering you to plead to impeding traffic, which is no points, and it won't go on your record. If you plead to that, they're going to dismiss the speeding charge and the expired plate charge. Do you understand that?
No.
What part don't you understand? They're offering you to plead to impeding traffic.
I got close at entry, and I'm not understanding much of what you're saying.
Okay.
I just know.
Let's pause here, because this is where many defendants and viewers misunderstand what's happening. The court is offering a plea to impeding traffic, a 0-point violation that keeps the defendant's driving record clean while dismissing both the speeding and expired plate charges. This is objectively the best possible outcome. The judge even makes it clear jail is not on the table, payment plans are available, and no one is demanding immediate money. Yet the defendant repeatedly insists she's going to jail because she has no money, even though that's not what the court is saying. This creates a communication breakdown, not because the law is unclear, but because emotion overrides listening. Judges can't force someone to accept a deal, but they also can't allow proceedings to devolve into argument at this point. The judge is still patient, but the courtroom temperature is rising fast.
I didn't know that I had a medical crisis at the time.
Hang on. I want to make sure you understand before we go on. They're going to offer you the opportunity to plead to a 0-point violation. It's not going on your traffic record.
I have no money.
Ma'am, you can fight the ticket if you want. I can't solve that issue for you. I'm not going to, if you don't understand, I'll just set it for hearing on both charges and we'll have a hearing. I don't know what more I can do. They're telling you if you plead to impeding, it's 0 points. It won't go on your traffic record, and the speeding charge will be dismissed.
I don't have any money.
Do you want to plead to this first? Do you want to plead to impeding?
No.
What do you want to do?
I want to do.
Ma'am, you're not going to get argumentative with me now, are you? You're not going to get argumentative with me now, are you?
don't know, I don't understand
What part don't you understand?
much of any of this.
Why, that's easy to say. I mean, I don't understand what's going on in the world now either. And I get that.
I was lost in.
Ma'am, you can set it for hearing if you want. I can tell this is going to be one of these where you don't want to plead and you want them to dismiss it and they're not willing to dismiss it. You're either going to have to plead the impeding or set them both for hearing. That's the best I can do. I will work with you on the payments. I don't intend to lock you up.
I don't have money.
Ma'am, I'm not talking about the money yet. I'm not talking
I
about.
gotta go to jail because I don't have the money.
So you understand what's going on. You just want to quarrel with me, right? You want to argue with me, right?
No, I just don't have money.
Ma'am, if you want me to set these for hearing, I will set them for hearing. If you want to plead the impeding traffic,
No.
you don't want to plead the impeding traffic. Well, why don't you sit down and think about it? I got all these people with,
Ain't gotta help. Still gonna have a head injury.
ma'am, you want to argue with me, huh? I don't need to argue, and I'm not arguing with people. If somebody wants me to argue with them, they can pay me a lot more than the state's paying me. I'm not going to argue with you. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, and that's what I'm going to do. That's Susan.
Amy Powers.
Have a seat, and I'll be back with you. You think about what you want to do, okay? What's that?
Amy Powers, if you got it on your bunch.
I had injury.
Ma'am, settle down, please. You don't get this outburst like that. I can't explain it any better than I have. You want to argue with me. People want to argue with me, detective, sometimes. You know that, Mr. Slough? I don't understand it. They want to argue with you. Like I'm the guy who got them in trouble. I'm the guy who's pressing the accelerator. I'm ridiculous. You ready, Miss Wolf, or have you not figured out what you're going to do and I'm not going to argue with you? You're either...
Bad head day.
So am I. Come on up here. Susan Lynn Wolf, 25G 306-784 A and B. All right, your name again?
Then walk.
So again, I'm going to ask you, you can either plead to impeding, and they'll dismiss the speed, and they'll dismiss the expired plate, or you can set them both for hearing.
Okay, but I gotta go to jail because I have no money.
Ma'am, I will give you time to pay.
I'm in the hole every month.
Ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. I can figure something out, but I'm not waiving your fines. I waive your fines, I gotta waive everybody else's fines.
That's why I want to go to jail.
I don't want to send you to jail. Do you want to take this deal, or
Because of the judge, okay?
you what?
Department to trial, I was told I would lose because everybody knew that auto owners own Tyrannus. The judge said I wasn't injured in the accident. I'm living on less than $10,000 a year because of that damn judge.
Stop it. Judge Tyrannus was a very, very, very well-respected judge.
He said I
So
wasn't
wait a minute. I'm not talking to you about Judge Tyrannus. I believe he's deceased. I had respect for him when I was a lawyer, and he was a very well-respected judge, and that's not fair. And hang on. I have nothing to do with that.
Right.
All right, so you're going
That's why I have no money.
ma'am, I
I
can't,
need to go to jail because I have no money.
all right, do you want me to set it for hearing, or are you going to plead to impeding?
I have no money. How do I?
Have a seat, you think about it further, but you're not going to bring up so you're not going to start disparaging a judge, particularly one who's deceased. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat.
This is the moment where everything changes. The discussion stops being about traffic violations and becomes about respect for the court itself. When the defendant begins disparaging another judge, especially one who is deceased, the current judge draws a firm line in court, you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to be confused. What you are not allowed to do is attack the integrity of the judiciary or turn the courtroom into a personal grievance forum. That's when patience runs out. The judge's response here isn't personal, it's institutional. Courts rely on order, respect, and structure. Once those collapse, the judge has an obligation to regain control. Notice how many chances were given before this point, repeated explanations, multiple resets, offers to set hearings, and opportunities to calm down. The escalation didn't come from the bench, it came from continued defiance. So the question becomes, when does confusion turn into contempt?
Mark,
Have a seat.
Sit down.
don't tell me that damn judge was a good judge.
Ma'am, you come up here 1 second. You want to go to jail, you keep acting like this, but it's not going to take care of your ticket. You are not going to carry on in a courthouse like this. Come here. Come up here.
I'm extremely dizzy at the moment.
Sit down, man. You're not going to disparage a judge. And you're not going to disparage somebody who's deceased.
I gotta close it in.
And Judge Tyrannus was in.
Said it wasn't in.
Well, I got to tell you, my money would be on Judge Tyrannus's decision because he was a very, very, very good man and a very respectful man. And I'm not talking about it, and you're not mentioning his name again. And when you tell me you're ready, I will call your case. All you have to do is raise your hand. I will call your case, and I will either set it for hearing or I will take the plea.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't be here. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Set it for hearing, Heather. Go down the hall and get your notice, ma'am.
Okay, Judge. You just want me to set it for, you
I
want me to
tell
set
you,
it for
there
a
are days
formal?
that I
Or,
wonder. There are just days that I wonder.
Judge,
What
you want me to
the-
set that for a formal hearing? or-
Everybody,
Remember,
so many people are so angry now. What?
In the end, the judge does exactly what the defendant asks for. The case is set for a formal hearing. No jail, no plea. Just a future court date and a reminder that courtroom decorum matters. As much as legal arguments, this case highlights a critical reality. Even minor charges can spiral when emotions take over. Judges are not adversaries, but they are gatekeepers of order. When respect breaks down, resolution becomes impossible. The broader takeaway is simple but powerful: understanding your options and listening can save you time, stress, and consequences. Walking out doesn't end the case, it only delays it. If you found this courtroom moment as intense as we did, hit that like button. Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.